Hey traders, Nick Shaheen looking at Palantir PLTR ticker, relatively new um, introduction to the market, and it's done pretty well. Um, I kind of called the breakout, at least I said it would be nice to buy into it on this dip right here, but I failed to take the trade, so maybe I should listen to myself. The question today was in the chat room. I had somebody new who wanted to chat about it, and they were asking about if they should book their profits because they're holding naked calls for January. Clearly, anytime I'm wondering if I should book profits, I usually book profits because, especially with something this violent, I don't know much about it. I did some due diligence about the income. It seems like it's doing well. So there are some critics that talk about some a lot of income from the government. I think like $1.5 billion contract or something like that. Don't know if it's right or wrong. It just sounded like there could be something that somebody has beef with. So I don't want that headline to surface and ruin a nice trade. So if I'm wondering if I should book profits, and if I took the breakout, let's say, and I didn't book at 200%, and I'm wondering now at 130%, I would book it. All right, so this is the general statement. But the question really was, number one is, why did you take the trade? And number two, did it hit your target? And if there's a I don't know or I don't know on either of those, one or two or both, then for the next trade, there should be a process by which I have to write down why am I taking this trade, and number two, where would be my exit point, up or down? Like if I bet up and I'm starting to lose money, is it time to leave it? So like in my case, my purpose would be to get long with a stop if it loses the recent low. It didn't even come close. It just ran. But I also would have said that my target would have been somewhere up here, so I would have left way too early. But that's okay, because as a process, that works over time. I miss out on some upside, but I don't get blown out, up or down. So the process is important. Let's talk Turkey. Actually, let's talk Palantir. If I go to, whoops, didn't want that, 60-minute chart. So now come the comments. I'm cheating a little bit because I already did the homework and I had a hand drawn as to plan of action. But to save you the trouble, I made nice, neat lines because people love to see them. To me, crayon says it all. This is all I need to trade something. So the hint is that it's tight and a move is coming. In which direction, I can't tell you, but I can tell you what lines will matter. All right, so let's put the lines on Palantir. These are the lines I just drew to mirror the hand-drawn ones that I came up with 10 minutes ago inside the chat room. There's a link to the chat room down below. We do this all day. So the range I want to look at is between 24, arguably 28 or 30. Let's go with the 28. And this is a 1 hour chart, so every candle is really 1 hour. If I have a line to look at, one line in the sand, 2650 sticks out to my eye. In fact, I didn't see it earlier, so I'm going to put it here, 2650. And why? It's just I saw a couple candles that I like, and I'm going to change the color to be blue. Keep it. All right, so this is the a line that I just picked out of the chart. So here is the plan of action. Something is happening. I don't know if it's going to be a repeat, try to test the high, or give back some more. And by the way, giving back some more is totally okay. It can fall down to 22 and still stay in the short-term hands of the bulls. This red-blue thing here is a simple regression line. So like a best fit chart of all the points that we see from November, let's call it. But if you saw the first chart, it was a daily and it looked like a steep ramp. So if we narrow down the price action so it doesn't look so extreme, then we can make more to-the-point calls. So I added these two orange lines. These are action lines for me. Let me show you what I mean. So this would alert me if price falls to 24 or lower, saying buyers should be here, yet it's losing an important line. So pay attention. If it loses this line, it might be going towards 22 or maybe 21 or 20. So that's an important part. So if I'm long, I probably bail right there and book my profits. Conversely, if above this level, 28 around, sellers should be here, yet it's breaking out in spite, if it is. So maybe I want to chase it. So this would be the plan of action based on lines. There are shorter term lines. For example, I can argue that the rally will probably start from 26.9 or higher, versus the breakdown will really start from 24.75 or lower. It's how fast am I trading this thing? It boils down to it. The bottom line is, inside this circle, poop's going to happen. Up or down, I don't know, but I do know the lines. So if I'm really active, this bad boy, and we're talking about 5-minute increments, there is some information there for the fast guys and gals. I don't think I want to get into it, because then it becomes trading advice and such. And in this case, it's not. I'm just sharing levels and opinions on a stock which I know nothing about. They clearly have a legitimate business. I've seen the CEO. I wonder what's going on with the hair. I tend to not trust somebody that leaves the house looking like they're Einstein or something. So clearly he knows what he's doing. He sounded like a smart guy. But I don't know enough about the company to say stay in it to win it, because it's going to triple in the next 3 years. Maybe it is. I just don't know enough about it. So I reserve my comments to the chart itself and some hair hygiene, I guess. If I'm long, I'm wondering if I should protect my profits. I would protect them. There are several ways of doing that. In this instance, I know that they were long a call for January. So I can sell a call shorter term against it, like a covered call, as if I own shares. I can do that shorter term to lock in some profits. What does that do? It kind of limits my upside potential, but not really if I time it right. And it kind of puts some money in my pockets regardless of what happens. So if the stock falls a little bit, I have some immediate profits, because the call I sold would die in my favor, giving me time to book my profits in the long one as if I did it before the fall. So it's getting into a call calendar, but in this case it will probably be a call diagonal, because they've been riding it in their favor so long. So let's say they bought the $18 call, they can sell anything above 18. So in this case I would probably sell the 28 if I'm right about this line right here, being sellers are going to be there, and lock in that profit. So why would I do that? Because then I'm staying long, participating, and this way, if the stock dips a little bit, I'm not sweating. And if it rises slowly, I'm still long, and I put some money in my pockets. This is called a call calendar if I just sell the 18, which I wouldn't do in this case. A call diagonal, which if I sell anything above current price, because I'm already along the 18. Or I can turn it into a complete debit call spread, so vertical call spread. But in that case, it won't be a debit call spread, because I've been long the 18 call for a while. So I would sell the call above, and it would probably end up being a credit, because the price action went my way, and I had such a good call on it. By the way, that's not me. That's somebody else in the group, smarter than me. I said buy it. They did. I didn't. So there you go. Look, the dip was where I said, you know what? I think it's a good time to go long Palantir. You'd think I'd follow my own advice. But anyway, the breakout was as soon as it got into open air, off to the races. Don't know what happened here. Earnings must have been good, whatever they said. So no need to question the fundamentals. It's timing the entry point. So these are tricky stocks when they move this fast. They seem like they're going to go to the moon. So I guess somebody that bought it up here is in world of hurt, 25% down. It could be worse. They could price the whole thing out. We don't know. You have to also consider the fact that the stock will trade inside the prism of the whole market. So let's say it deserves to be higher, but the whole market corrects. It's not going to rally all by itself. So we are in a bullish market. So they will buy the dip. At what point, I don't know. 20 looks like a nice slice of pivot. If you believe in Fibonacci, I'm going to eyeball 20 as being the middle of this rally. So if we consider this was the base. Okay, 22, if we consider that the base, is the 50% retracement. 61.8 is the 20, which I hear is more powerful than the 50. So let's say the whole thing from low to high, 50 would be slightly under 22. So the zone of 22.20 looks like the nice place where they can still rest. And let's put it this way, if it falls down here, I would consider selling some puts and put spreads in it in order to generate some income from the fear that's in the stock at that point. All right, so 10 minutes is enough for the stock. This is my first video on it. We'll see how it does.